Today we're going to ask the question that everyone's been dying to know the answer to. What happens when a magic card sits in water for an extended period of time? So we've got our willing test subject and our water here. Actually, just a second. Yeah, okay. So we're going to put this in the water and then let it sit there, and we're going to check back on this periodically to see how it's doing. Okay, so it's been around a minute, maybe a little bit longer, and you can see it's starting to soak up the water on the edges here and get a little bit pearly there. It's been about 5 minutes now, and not really a whole lot has changed, just soaked up a bit more water. Feels like it has yet to reach the center of the card, but it's getting there. Okay, it's been around 10 minutes now, and it's definitely soaked up a lot of water. I think we're going to wait a little bit longer before we check on it again, though. So it's at about 24 hours now, still kind of just floating here. It's all soaked up the water, but I don't know. I kind of feel like it might take a while longer before there's any significant change. So we're at about 3 days now of this in the water. I didn't really bother filming on day 2 because there wasn't really a whole lot of change, and even still there isn't that much change between the first day. You can see the back of it. Definitely has soaked up a lot of water, but I'm wondering how long it's going to be before there's any more significant change to this. Okay, so it's been about a week now, and you can finally see some actual difference. Up until now, there hasn't really been a whole lot of change, but you can see it's not floating anymore. It's also quite dark. I'll take it out, give you a good look at it here. Quite saturated with water. And if I leave it on top there, it doesn't really float so well at all anymore. Let's check back again in a little while. So we're at 10 days now, and there's some pretty interesting stuff happening. It doesn't really float at all anymore. Take a look at it there. But the bottom of the card here is starting to disintegrate. I wonder how much longer it's going to last in here. We're at about 3 weeks in now, and the card is kind of starting to fall apart. You can see a lot of the water has evaporated, though. I imagine a lot of it's just in the card, but I might have to add some more water soon. It's been just over a month now. See, the card's still there in one piece, although a lot of the water is gone now. It's looking pretty thirsty there, so give it a nice refill. That should do it for a while. We're at about 6 weeks now. You can see a lot of the front of the card has come off. A lot of the water is gone again, though, so we're going to have to give this bowl a nice drink here. Refill it. And then, yeah, when I pour the water in, you can see that's where a lot of the damage comes from. And let's take a look at the back. We'll leave this in here longer. 51 days in this bowl of water. Here we are at 63 days in the water. I think it's coming along quite nicely. Day 76 in this bowl of water. I'm a little bit afraid to touch the card because it's looking quite fuzzy there. Really starting to disintegrate now. Just over 3 months in there now. 114 days. $133 days. 140 days. So as you can see, something has changed. The last update that I filmed of this was March 20th, 2023. It's now August 11th. there's no water here, and the card is kind of part of the bowl now. What happened was I had to leave the country for a bit for work for a few months. I was in the United States. And during that time, this was at home. So I couldn't be adding water into it. And as I mentioned earlier, the water kept evaporating. So I came back to find it like this. The card, it didn't end up actually getting completely disintegrated, but this is still an interesting conclusion, I think. I'm not really sure what to think of this. You can see our willing test subject there. Just a second. Okay, it's not like you need to see what a magic card looks like, but here's a fresh willing test subject. Here's our other one that was in water for what, like 5 months or so? And then sat here like this until the water evaporated, and it's probably been like this for a good 3 months maybe. But yeah, here's what we got. I do still want to see if I can get this to completely disintegrate though, so what I'm going to do is fill this bowl back up with water and try to start doing some more updates. We'll see how much it can actually change. I'm not sure if the fact that it evaporated and then we're left with this is if that's going to affect our points of data so much, but I want to keep going with this and see where we can end up with it. So I've just filled this back up with water now. I'm going to start to try and tend to this again, keep it nice and hydrated, film some more updates, and I guess check back in a few months or, whenever I upload the next video. Hopefully we'll have a card that is completely disintegrated by that point, but interesting nonetheless anyway. And if nothing else, now I have this card that's attached to the bowl here. Might be stuck to there forever now.